radio from the Mobile, Pensacola National Weather Service. The current time is 5:53 p.m. Central Standard Time. Here's your marine forecast. On the weather map, surface high pressure over the Gulf moves east off the southeast coast by Sunday night. Meanwhile, a cold front exits the southern plains Monday and dives southeastward, draped from the Carolinas southwestward to a frontal wave of low pressure developing off the Texas coast early Wednesday. Fog returns by Monday night over bays and sounds. As the front approaches, a more established onshore flow evolves and strengthens into the early half of the week. Due to the strength and duration of the southerly fetch, seas to trend higher. A better coverage of showers and thunderstorms return to the forecast late Tuesday, continuing through Wednesday night. On North Mobile Bay, small craft should exercise caution by Sunday afternoon. For tonight, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots becoming light. Waves around 1 foot. For Sunday, southeast winds 3 to 8 knots becoming south 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots. Waves less than 1 foot, then 1 to 2 feet. For Sunday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots, diminishing to 8 to 13 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. And for Monday, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Chance of showers on South Mobile Bay and the Mississippi Sound. Small craft should exercise caution by Sunday afternoon. For tonight, southwest winds 8 to 13 knots becoming south 3 to 8 knots. Waves around 1 foot. For Sunday, south winds 5 to 10 knots increasing to 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots. Waves around 1 foot building to around 2 feet. For Sunday night, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Waves around 2 feet. And for Monday, south winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to around 20 knots. Waves around 2 feet. Chance of showers on the Perdido Bay area. For tonight, southwest winds 3 to 8 knots becoming light. Waves less than 1 foot. For Sunday, southeast winds 3 to 8 knots becoming south. Waves around 1 foot. For Sunday night, south winds 8 to 13 knots. Waves around 1 foot. And for Monday, south winds 10 to 15 knots. Waves around 1 foot. Chance of showers from Pensacola to Pascagoula and out 20 nautical miles. Small craft should exercise caution by Sunday afternoon. For tonight, southwest winds 8 to 13 knots becoming south. Seas around 1 foot. Dominant wave period 3 seconds. For Sunday, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots increasing to 13 to 18 knots. Seas 1 to 3 feet. Dominant wave period 4 seconds. For Sunday night, south winds 13 to 18 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. And for Monday, south winds 13 to 18 knots diminishing to 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Slight chance of showers from Pensacola to Pascagoula, from 20 to 60 nautical miles offshore. Small craft should exercise caution by Sunday afternoon. For tonight, west winds 8 to 13 knots becoming south. Seas 1 to 2 feet. Dominant wave period 4 seconds. For Sunday, southeast winds 8 to 13 knots increasing to 13 to 18 knots. Seas 1 to 3 feet. Dominant wave period 4 seconds. For Sunday night, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots becoming south. Gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. And for Monday, south winds 15 to 20 knots diminishing to 13 to 18 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Dominant wave period 6 seconds. Tidal information at the mouth of the Mobile River on Saturday. Low tide at 3:09 a.m. High tide at 4:39 p.m. At the mouth of the Mobile River on Sunday. Low tide at 4:41 a.m. High tide at 5:16 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Saturday, low tide at 12:48 a.m. High tide at 2:52 p.m. At Pensacola Bay on Sunday, low tide at 2:14 a.m. High tide at 3:42 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Saturday, low tide at 12:14 a.m. High tide at 2:19 p.m. At the East Pass in Destin on Sunday, low tide at 1:40 a.m. High tide at 3:09 p.m. The following marine observations were made as of 5 p.m. Mobile Bay Coast Guard Station. Winds were south at 8 knots. Sea temperature 55 degrees. Air temperature 70 degrees. Middle Bay Lighthouse. South winds at 16 knots. Air temperature was 59 degrees. Weeks Bay. Air temperature 62 degrees. Pensacola Bay. West winds at 6 knots. Air temperature was 63 degrees. The east end of Dauphin Island. Southwest winds at 11 knots. Air temperature was 60 degrees. Graham Bay. Southwest winds at 9 knots. Air temperature was 62 degrees. And Petty Boy Island. Southwest winds at 12 knots. Air temperature was 60 degrees. 70 miles south of Dauphin Island, winds were southwest at 4 knots. Air temperature was 64 degrees. Gulf water temperature 70 degrees. Wave heights 1 foot with a period of 6 seconds. 12 miles south of Orange Beach, winds were southwest at 60 knots. Air temperature was 61 degrees. Gulf water temperature 63 degrees. Wave heights 2 feet with a period of 3 seconds. 100 miles south of Destin, winds were northwest at 8 knots. Sea temperature 70 degrees. Wave heights 3 feet. Wave period 6 seconds. The following weather reports were made at 5 p.m. Mobile Regional Airport, skies were mostly cloudy. The temperature was 63 degrees, the dew point was 33, and the relative humidity was 32%. The wind was southwest at 13 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.26 inches and rising. Downtown Mobile, at Brookley Field, skies were fair. The temperature was 65 degrees, the dew point was 35, and the relative humidity was 33%. The wind was southwest at 7 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.27 inches and rising. The Mobile climate summary for this evening, as of 5 p.m., February 29th, 2020. Today's high temperature was 70 degrees and the low 31. No precipitation fell today, which leaves the monthly total at 5.01 inches. The total precipitation for the year still stands at 9.58 inches. Sunset tonight is at 5:51 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:19 a.m. Across the central Gulf Coast, Gulf Shores, fair. Temperature was 61 degrees. Wind southwest at 9 miles an hour. Pascagoula, fair. Temperature was 63 degrees. Wind southwest at 8 miles an hour. Biloxi, fair. Temperature was 61 degrees. Wind southwest at 13 miles an hour. Hattiesburg, fair. Temperature was 69 degrees. Wind variable at 5 miles an hour. And in Pensacola, fair. Temperature was 65 degrees. Wind southwest at 17 miles an hour. Elsewhere, New Orleans, fair and 67. Jackson, Mississippi, partly sunny and 66. Birmingham, fair and 60. Montgomery, fair and 63. And in Panama City, fair and 62. Here's your National Weather Service forecast. Tonight, not as cool. Mostly clear. Lows in the mid-40s. South winds up to 5 miles per hour. Sunday, partly sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. South winds up to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, warmer. Mostly cloudy. Near steady temperature in the upper 50s. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of rain showers. Highs in the mid-70s. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. This is NOAA Weather Radio from the Mobile, Pensacola National Weather Service. The current time is